Hello! In this video, I'm going to be telling you how I'm preparing to hike the entire length of New Zealand, 3,000 kilometers on the Te Araroa. The Te Araroa, or TA for short, will be my 5th long distance through hike, so I have a bit of experience at this point. I've done the Great Divide Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, Croatian Long Distance Trail, and Vancouver Island Trail. I'm leaving for the trail in about 3 weeks, and I want to let you know all the steps I've been taking to prepare, because these are often my most asked questions, is how I actually get ready for these massive hikes. It's gonna take probably 5 months, so we'll be gone for a while. And I say we because I'm hiking with my husband Brian, so he's gonna be with me, and the both of us are gonna be hiking the whole trail. That's the goal, at least. So let's go through the steps that we've done. Step 1 is we decided what time of year we wanted to go and do the trail. So we looked at our own personal schedules and when you can through hike the TA, and we figured out that we wanted to go northbound, and so we had to start a little bit later because of lambing season. So we figured out that we wanted to start our trail pretty shortly after I finished a block of work. So we figured out our start date, we figured out our direction, and the next thing we did is we got our hiking permits. You can go onto the Te Araroa Association website and apply for your hiking permits there. It was a very straightforward process. You just had to have a rough idea of your plan and fill in your details, and you get a hiking pass, like a trail pass, and also a pass to stay in the huts. So it allows you to stay, I think in some huts are included and then some huts are an additional fee. So we got that, and then once we had that, we were ready to book our flights. Step 2 is we booked our flights to and from Canada to New Zealand, and we booked a round trip flight because we'd heard from other people that it's beneficial when applying for a tourist visa, which I'll cover in the next step, that you have a return ticket to show that you have intent to return home once you're done your tourism in New Zealand. So that's what we did. We booked our flights. It's a long way from Canada, so it's going to be a lot of travel. So Brian and I opted to get the Sky Couch on New Zealand Air to hopefully be able to get a little bit more comfortable, but we'll see. Step 3 is we applied for tourist visas. So as Canadians, when you enter New Zealand, you are usually automatically issued a 3-month tourist visa. But based on the distance being 3,000 kilometers, we suspect it's gonna take us 4.5 or 5 months to hike the whole trail. It's kind of long. So we knew we would need an extension to that. So we did our research, went on Immigration New Zealand, their official website, and figured out that the visa we needed to apply for was a tourist visa. And basically that just meant we could apply for a longer tourist visa, have it pre-approved so we could stay for that whole 5-month block. And that process was actually kind of tedious. It took us all day to scan the right documents. We needed to have scans of our passports and different documents. We had to get photos done that were slightly different than passport photos, and we had to show our different intentions as to why we were going and that we are intending to come home. And so of course we included information about our round trip flights and that we were hiking the TA, and explained what it was. And yeah, it took us a long time because it's just a lot of forms to fill out, and we just wanted to make sure we didn't make any mistakes. And on the website it said it would take 4 weeks for us to get them back to us, and we actually got them back within a week, which was awesome. But I definitely think it's good to leave extra time. We had 5 weeks when we applied, and I was nervous, so I would give yourself a buffer if you can. But yeah, we fortunately got those approved pretty recently, so that's so exciting. Step 4 is deciding what travel insurance we are going to use. And we've actually used the same one for quite a few years now. So I used it when I did the Pacific Crest Trail, and we used it when we were traveling in our van in Europe, and it's called Safety Wing. This video is not sponsored by them, but I am a Safety Wing ambassador, so you can use my referral link to sign up if you want to use their service. I have really enjoyed their service so far. Safety Wing Nomad Insurance covers travel insurance, so you can get access to global network of hospitals and doctors for unexpected medical problems and accidents. And travel coverage, which includes coverage for travel delay, lost checked baggage, emergency response, and natural disasters, personal liability. In all of our research, we found this one to be a really good one for the types of stuff we do when we travel. So yeah, if you want to use it, go ahead and use the link. I'll pop it in the description below of this video. Step 5 is that we bought the route on Far Out. So Far Out is a navigation app that hosts a lot of long distance trails. So the Great Divide Trail, Croatian Long Distance Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, and now the Te Araroa have all been on Far Out. And what you do is you buy the route. So you just buy the section that you need. So you can usually buy section by section, or you can buy the whole route. And that's what we did because we planned to do the whole thing. So we just bought the whole bundle. And then what we'll do before we start is make sure the section we're starting on, we have downloaded for offline use. And then when you're out in the wilderness and you're on airplane mode, you can still navigate. Your GPS still works and all the maps are down. You pre-downloaded them when you had Wi-Fi or cell signal. That's a really great way to navigate. It's my favorite way to navigate on long distance trails because there's the incredible feature that you can leave comments and on different waypoints. So if there's a tent icon, for example, and you hike past it and you notice that a bunch of blowdown trees have covered all the tent pads, you can comment in there and say, all the tent sites are now covered by blown down fallen logs, so that the next person won't count on that site. So it's a really nice way to have like interactions with the community without actually having to see the people. And you kind of get to know who's like just ahead of you, which is really fun. So yeah, I highly recommend using Far Out if you're considering doing any long distance trails, if they have the route in there. But you can, I think you can download the app for free and then just look through all the different routes they have, and then you just buy the route. Some of them I think are free, I think. So if you want to download that, and if you want, you can use my referral code for that as well. I'm a Far Out affiliate. So I'll put the link for that in the description of this video as well. I find it so helpful to download that when I'm planning. Like my first couple of weeks, I was looking ahead at where I'm going to resupply, where we're going to stay in the first week or two. I like to have an idea of that like a couple of weeks in advance. And that's so helpful because all of those sorts of places are marked. Water sources are marked. So I'm like looking on my Far Out and then I'm writing down what we're gonna do. So it's a great way to plan. Step 6 is to join the Facebook group for the trail. So both Brian and I joined the Facebook group, and he's been a little bit more active on that than I've been because I've been busy making these videos. More on that later. And so he's gathering sort of more up-to-date relevant information, like if there's anything happening, any closures, any trail washouts, things like that. You can get so much amazing information from fellow hikers or trail angels. Trail angels are usually people who support the trail in some way by posting trail updates, providing rides, accommodation, food, whatever. Trail angels are amazing. They are part of the thru hiker community, even if they're not thru hikers themselves, but oftentimes they have thru hiked at some point. Number 7 is getting our gear organized. So since this is my 5th thru hike, I have a pretty good idea of what gear I like, but if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I'm not an ultralight hiker. I've been trying to lighten my pack as much as I can over the years, but I find it kind of hard. Like, I like my comfort items and I make videos, so I have like that added weight of batteries and cameras and things like that. But this year I'm trying even harder to lighten my pack. So Brian and I did get a new tent. We got the Durston X Mid 2 Pro. So it's I think it's the lightest 2-person tent that they have. And we had the just regular X Mid 2 that we used this past year on the Vancouver Island Trail. So it should be lighter, which is exciting. And then I needed a whole new wardrobe basically, because the clothes I wore on the Pacific Crest Trail, I wore most of them on the Vancouver Island Trail, and they are just shreds now. So I needed a full like hiker outfit. Of course, I'm gonna need probably 5 pairs of shoes over the course of the 3,000 kilometers. I needed new sleep wear because it also had holes all in it, and a new puffy jacket because the one I had from the Pacific Crest Trail I couldn't get it clean anymore. And some lighter weight rain gear as well. I didn't need much in terms of like other camping gear. Like I had my sleeping pad, my quilt, my pillow, all of that. And then this hike, we're actually trying for the first time cold soaking, which is a popular thru hiker thing to do instead of cooking. So you don't need to bring a stove, a pot, fuel, so you lighten your weight. So this means I don't need to bring all of that, even though I already have it, because I cooked on all my other previous hikes. So stay tuned for how I like cold soaking. I suspect I'm going to struggle a little bit not having hot coffee in the morning, but we will see. I've also been really fortunate to pair up with Robinson's Outdoor Store here in Victoria, and they've been helping source a lot of the gear for me and supply it for me, and that's amazing. So huge shout out to Robinson's. Thanks guys. Number 8 is training. I covered this in more detail in a previous video, so I'll pop it up. I think it would be up in this corner here for you if you want to go watch it. But basically what I decided to do this year, because my turnaround was a bit quicker between hikes, is I decided to try to do like 2 to 5 day hikes per week, depending on the week and what I had going on for work. Probably I consistently did 2 per week over the last few months. And then I tried to do my physiotherapy exercises as often as I could, but I didn't put too much pressure on myself. So I did those probably 1 to 2 days a week, if you were to average it out over the last few months. And then Brian, he's been really consistent with physiotherapy for his shoulder. He's had 2 surgeries on his shoulder, and he really needed to build up that strength and all the good stuff, and he's been doing really well with that. And he's also been going to F45 a lot of mornings. Basically any morning we're not day hiking, he's going to that. And yeah, he's getting really strong. It's been really awesome to see. So we've been prepping that way, or training that way. Step 9 is work. So anytime I'm not on trail, I need to work a lot to make being on trail possible. So I've been trying to work as much as I can in my field of physiotherapy or physical therapy, depending on what country you're in. You might call it physiotherapy or physical therapy, same thing. And so I've been doing that as much as I can, but I haven't been able to do it as much as I would like because I've been really diligently creating these videos, because it was super important to me to still have an episode come out every week while I'm hiking on the TA. So I'm filming this before I leave for the TA, but while you're watching it, I'm already hiking. So I'm pre-filming, editing, and scheduling these videos for you. And that's been really fun and rewarding. I've really enjoyed it. But it's been a huge factor, I guess, a huge variable in getting ready for the trail, is making sure I'm getting all my work done and just being well scheduled and planned out, so I know I'm gonna get things done in time. Number 10 is medical appointments. So because we're gonna be away for close to half the year, we have to make sure we do all of our sort of regular checkups while we're here. So it feels a little bit condensed and like we're doing a lot of appointments, but then of course we probably won't need to have many appointments, hopefully, fingers crossed, while we're away. So, you know, classic things like teeth cleaning, getting your eyes checked, those sorts of things. And so just being a little bit busier with those. All my professionals that I see, they know now that I do these hikes, so they're not surprised when I say, hey, I'm gonna be gone for 5 months. Can we do this maybe like a month early, because I won't be able to come in a month because I'll be in New Zealand. And so they've been really good at just sort of flexing the schedule a little bit to make it ideal for my health, as ideal as they can. And then I'll do a checkup probably as soon as I get home. I usually have like a bunch of appointments to do all my checkups, see how I'm doing. And then I'm also planning, I haven't done this yet, but I'm planning on doing, going to a travel clinic where they will just let me know for the area if I need to bring any sort of antibiotics with me, or if I need any additional stuff to bring with me for the area. So usually I do that before a big trip as well. But it's on my to-do list. I gotta do that. Number 11 is family visits. So one of the hardest things about through hiking for me is missing my family and friends, people I love here. So what I try to do is I try to fit in some really good visits with people, and that can be hard because of course I'm also busy with the other things I mentioned, but it's really important to me. So fitting in visits with my grandma, we recently saw some of Brian's family, and then before that my family, and we're gonna do some more visits as well. So yeah, trying to get that quality time and letting people know my plan, and then I'll be updating people as I go as well. That's one of the things I love about making these videos, is that my family and friends get updates through watching the videos. So thanks guys if you're watching, love you. And last but not least, step 12 is packing up this apartment. So we have decided we will not have any accommodation here in Canada while we're gone. So we gave notice for this apartment, we've organized a storage unit, and we are gonna pack everything up, put some stuff in our storage unit, sell some stuff, then not be paying for accommodation while we're away. So that really helps with actually being able to afford to do this. And I did do a whole video on how I afford through hiking. I'll put it up here again if you want more details on that. But that was one big thing that we thought was gonna really help us, because all my previous couple years of through hikes, we were paying for accommodation here in Canada because I was like on the Pacific Crest Trail, for example, I was solo and Brian was here in the apartment most of the time. So yeah, we're moving out. It's a big task, but this is a tiny little studio, so we don't have a lot of stuff. So I actually don't think it's not that overwhelming. I think it's gonna be fine. And then when we get home, of course, we will need to get some of our stuff out of the storage unit and figure out where we're gonna go next. But that we will figure out as we go. We figure we'll have a lot of time for reflection to figure out our next steps when we're hiking. And we thought if we decide we want to be back in this area, I'm sure we can find an apartment again. So that's the plan. We're just gonna be living out of our backpacks for 5 months, which is honestly my favorite feeling. I love it so much. It's just so freeing. So yeah, that's my entire, I guess, 12-step process of how I'm preparing for the Te Araroa. It's a little bit different than other hikes I've done because it's in a new country. I've never been to New Zealand. So yeah, that's what I've been doing so far. Let me know if you have any questions about any of that in the comments below, or if there's any steps you think I missed. I tried really hard to remember everything I've done and write it down so that I didn't miss anything, but there's a very strong chance I missed something. So let me know in the comments. And yeah, we're getting really close to the TA videos starting to come out, a few weeks away. So I'm really excited to share those with you. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Love you lots. Bye.